another episode of Stuff Show. I'm your host, Stephanie Stone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out here on location in Chicago with Rabbi Funnye. Thank you for allowing me in here.
Oh, Stephanie, welcome. Baruch haba. So good to have you with us today.
Yes, thank you. Your temple is Temple Beth Shalom.
Beth Shalom, the Nezakin Ethiopian Hebrew congregation, established in 1918, and we'll be celebrating our 100th anniversary in a few years to come.
In 2018?
Yes.
So just a little under, just about 4 years.
Yes.
It's August 2014 as we're taping. Coming up on the show, I just wanted to say what we're going to discuss. I thought was really interesting what you do. Comparison of various Jewish groups in Africa and Israel. You are a Jewish rabbi.
Yes.
But Judaism is a little different from African Judaism as compared to European Judaism.
There are some differences, but some very distinct similarities.
Yes.
We use the same calendar. We certainly use the same Pentateuch. We read the same portions that Jews read all over the world. So our Sabbath services, for the most part, the prayer part of our services, are very, I say, very undescript and very much like any synagogue that you would walk into anywhere in the world. But when you get into the other part of the services, our music is different.
Yeah.
We have congos and drums. We have keyboards. We have folks that beat the tambourine. We believe that the 150th Psalms, which says to make a joyful noise to God and to praise Hashem with the drum, praise Hashem with the cymbal, praise Hashem with all of these instruments. And so we believe that we bring to life that sense of praise by singing that Psalms 150 and using those instruments as we sing that song.
Sort of a manifestation of feeling.
Yes.
I'll ask a little bit more about that. And then Law of Return, which is interesting to me. It's about in Africa going to Israel. Number 3, life of practicing Jews while surrounded by hostile groups. Kind of in the news right now. And then last, Revelation Narrative, which I just saw on YouTube about, how religions came about.
Yes, Judaism in sub-Saharan Africa has really been around almost for 100 years. And in some instances, if you go to South Africa, for instance, with the Limba people, they have maintained their Jewish identity, but not necessarily Jewish practice. So the Limba community of South Africa has been around for eons. As a matter of fact, it's the group that Professor Tudor Popford did the DNA study and found that one of the clans of the Limba community, the Buba clan, actually had a very high percentage of its members with the DNA that he traced back to being descendants of Aharon, the Hakohen Hagadol, Aaron the high priest. And so,
now for people who don't know, Aaron the high priest was
the first high priest of Israel. He
was with Moses.
Yes, he was with Moses.
Can you believe it? That's so cool.
So then from the Limba community, we have communities of the Igbo and the Igbo people who are in Cameroon, who are in Nigeria, and who are in Ghana.
Are these all, but those are not sub-Saharan.
Yeah, they are sub-Saharan.
Wow,
that's all sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay.
And the communities I work with mainly in Nigeria. I'm working currently with 40 congregations, ranging in size from 15 to 20 members to 300 or 400 members.
These are all groups in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes, these are all
40.
groups these are groups in Nigeria, in the southern part of Nigeria, where there's a very high concentration of the group called the Igbo and the Igbo. And they also have a belief that they have ancestry with ancient Israel. And so for them, it's a process of return. And so they study, and we'll be taking them through conversion to that they will be fully converted to Judaism.
Now, these groups that you're working with, is this to fully convert people to Judaism?
Yes, absolutely.
That are already Jewish?
They're already practicing, but I believe that the process should be complete through the halakhic process, which is circumcision and immersion for men, and simply immersion in a mikvah for women.
Yeah.
And
so men are so you're going to have men, grown men, and you're getting a ritual circumcision. Does that hurt?
Well,
I'm just curious.
Most of them have already been circumcised because amongst the Igbo, they circumcise at 8 days old.
So why do they need another one?
Well, they need another one to affirm that they'll be a part of the Jewish world, a part of the Jewish community.
And also they could have the bris.
Yes.
So that way you could get the chopped liver and the fruit and stuff like that.
Yeah. We did a conversion in Uganda several years ago in 2008 of 250 people when my colleague, Rabbi Gershom Samuzu, the rabbi of Uganda who was trained at the Ziegler Institute in Los Angeles. He was ordained in 2008.
Would you like to say hi to everybody from the Ziegler Institute?
Yes.
Yes, hi. Shalom.
And so the dean and several of the rabbis, we had a group of about 9 rabbis that were there working with the individuals who had been studying Judaism. And we had rabbis from other parts of the country.
Of the U.S.
Of the United States.
That went over there.
Who made their way to Uganda for the installation of Rabbi Gershom as the rabbi of his community.
In Uganda.
In Uganda. The music is the main difference.
Wow.
Every other element is the same. I mean, we come in the synagogue on Shabbat morning singing Ma Tovu, just as they do in any other synagogue. And we do the Shema, we do the Amidah, so that the prayers that you would find in any synagogue, you'll find in any synagogue in Africa, particularly one that I'm the rabbi of. 90% of the service is done in Hebrew.
And you're the rabbi for these other synagogues?
Yes.
Wow. You're a busy guy.
Yes.
Your history briefly, you grew up Baptist?
I grew up in the AME Church, Methodist,
Okay.
the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And I started my spiritual journey and quest when I was 17. I had questions that I just didn't feel were answered satisfactorily in the Christian faith, and that started my spiritual journey.
Anyway, just a little side note, you are the cousin of Michelle Obama?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you've met the president before he was president?
I've known President Obama for over 20 years. He's a fantastic individual, as she is a wonderful first lady.
Your cousin?
Yes.
Okay. And so 17, you started this journey? I
started the journey, and I came to Judaism when I was about between 19 and 20 years old. So this has been a part of my life, and it has ruled my life for over 40 years now. I'm 62 today.
No,
not today,
okay.
but I'm 62 today.
In 2014.
In 2014. And so I have been a part of the Jewish community for a very long time. I'm a member of the Chicago Board of Rabbis. I'm representing this synagogue in the Chicago region and around the country. There are other African American rabbis and congregations in New York, in Philadelphia, in Guyana, in Barbados that are part of our association. I became spiritual leader in 1991 when my predecessor, Rabbi Abahu Rubin, passed away that year.
Okay. By the way, so now we're going to have, if you're just tuning in, you're watching Stuff Show, we're going to be right back.